so like I said, I gotta get this thing knocked out, but I've already got a lot of stuff done on this thing. Obviously I've removed the drive shaft because you need to do that in order to slip the transmission out. I've also removed my H pipe that was put in here when I redid this exhaust. I have the Speedo cable. It's detached here. It's just a matter of twisting that little plastic piece there. Try not to break it. And then you have, let me grab a light. Yeah, you've got a vacuum line that's right here. That's just a matter of pulling that off and disconnecting it. It's this one here. And then you have your transmission lines right here, which if you look at this one, it's bent. I didn't have the right tool at first to take off that flaring nut on the end of that line there. But they do sell these line, I guess, wrenches, you want to call them. And they actually grab the back end of that nut as well, so it'll keep you from tearing up your fittings on those lines. But I have another set of lines that I originally ordered for this truck when I first bought it because it was leaking at the radiator and I thought it was the lines. I ended up putting some Teflon on there and it actually stopped the leak. Other than that, I'll replace these, and then I have to take off the dipstick for the transmission. It's just one bolt attached to the bell housing on there. And then I have to come back on this side. I've already disconnected the linkage as far as for the shifter, and I believe that's all I have left. Besides obviously your cross member on this transmission here, and I don't know what this is for. I don't know what this little line is for here. It goes up into the back of the transmission, and it looks like I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out. We'll get it pulled out of here, so it's not in the way when we drop this thing. But other than that, transmission lines and everything are done, and it's just a matter of taking the dipstick out from that top bolt on the bell housing, and then that's about it. I will have to drain the oil or the fluid out of this thing, just so when I'm moving it around I don't spill any more than what I've already done. But yeah, let's get to work. I need a lift, bigger shop, or a house with a shop. Couple lifts, probably like a 40 by 60 or so at least. But anyways, obviously I didn't spill a drop. Yeah, it all went in the pan. But I drained whatever was left of it. I've got a little plug here. I've removed the mount. It's all laying down right there. I've got everything disconnected off this thing. There's a little black wire that I can't remember what that's for, but that runs to your throttle. And that's pretty much it. I've taken all the bolts off the back of the transmission, bell housing area to the motor, and now this thing should come out, but it's usually never how it goes. So let's figure it out. Let's see if we can get this thing. Not the best way to do it, but whatever. Alright, yeah, you're good. I really need to go buy a transmission jack, but whatever. I didn't want that shaft to scrape. Oh, it's alright. Anyways, whatever. Well, there's that. What I should have done would have been easier if I would have just broke the converter free from the flywheel, but I didn't think that through. But anyways, whatever. It did catch a little bit of the lines here, but that's, again, I'm replacing that. So I'm not really worried about these. And then everything else was fine. This is what, oh yeah, this is what connects up to your throttle, your carburetor or whatever the hell. But yeah, that's it. It's out. I'm gonna move it around, just move it back some. And if you do this, you might want to get the plug for this deal. Actually, I could probably replace this seal now that, I don't know, I may not, I don't know, I may just leave it. You might want to get the plug for the end so that you don't have this oil issues like I did, or fluid issues like I did. But let's reorganize this and get that flywheel or converter off that flywheel so we can take that off. Thanks, boo. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't pull the damn. I should have just pulled the converter off the flywheel. But like I said, I didn't think that through. Well, as you can see, the transmission is out. This one, I think it was on like 4 bolts. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where'd I put them? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 6 bolts, I think is what it is. This was missing one on the side. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't have this top left driver's side one on there. Might grab one, I may not. It's not that big of a deal. And then what else? Fix these damn things from leaking. But yeah, I've got your flywheel is off, which is what I'm replacing, and then your converter's off, and then that's just the back of the motor there. You can't really see anything, but that's that. I've never seen that attached to the back of something like that. I don't know, maybe there's just a crank to help it balance or something, but whatever, I'm not messing with that. I was gonna do the rear main seal, but it doesn't look bad. I'm just gonna leave it because I'm probably gonna end up doing the 6.0 4.080 swap on this thing here shortly. So just gonna get it running. The next thing I do, like I said, next thing I decide to do on this thing, if it needs it, like any big repair or something, I'll just go ahead and start that that 6.0 swap and get rid of some of this old drivetrain. So, but like I said, I wanted to get this truck up and running and avoid that HOA issue. So I've got everything apart that I needed, and I'm gonna take this to the AutoZone and pick up something identical. So then I'll come back and put this thing back together. So alright, so I was able to get the new flywheel put in. I don't know why they gave me a gold one, but whatever, it's just the color. Now what I'm going to do is I torqued it down and everything already. Now I'm going to do is put the converter onto the trans, and then I'll just use that jack like I did to pull it off, and go from there. then I'll connect everything back up, run the new lines, and then we should be good. Hopefully, maybe, probably not, but whatever, we'll figure it out. And I'll put the dipstick back on and everything like that I took off, so we'll see. Alright, it's on. Just to make sure that it goes all the way back, you gotta kind of pick it up and twist it and move it and allow it to sit all the way back against the transmission. I'm just gonna put this thing on a jack and then just angle it up and hopefully get it put back on. No issues. I have a transmission, sorry, I don't have a transmission jack. I do have a motorcycle jack, but a buddy of mine's got it, which would have been a little easier to put underneath and then just lift it there, versus, because it's got 2 points on it versus a single point to lift on that just regular old jack that I have. But anyways, that's a different story. We'll go ahead and get this thing going. What's up? It's Tuesday morning. Obviously I didn't get done all the way. Stayed up till probably about 1 or so, 1:30 finishing this thing. I did do the flywheel. I put the converter back on, transmission's back on, the steering or the drive shaft, and then the H-pipe for the exhaust is back on. I've got everything put in place the way it needs to be, with the exception of the starter. I still need to shim it, and then I can top off the transmission fluid and take this thing off jack stands so that we can drive it around. It's kind of an ugly day today. It's pretty wet out, but take a look. I started to mess with the starter. There are the shims for it, but Everything's back in place as it should be. Transmission's on. Exhaust is back in place. Drive shaft is back on. With that being said, we're gonna get to work. So there's a shaft in the starter where the Allen wrench is hitting it, and that's what guides that that gear into your flywheel. So if you don't get this right, you'll have too much play. But what you want to do is see if I can. All right, what you want to do is you check with your 1/8 inch socket, Allen wrench or bit, and you just set it in between the teeth and the shaft. And mine's in there, and it's barely off. I mean, I've got just the hair play in this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it like that, crank it up and see what it does. If I need to come in, if it grinds too much or it makes too much noise, I'll come in here and I'll adjust it. But I've got just barely any play in this thing. And with that being said, all I did was I didn't shim the side closest to the motor. These outside towards the exhaust, I shimmed. That one's got all the shims because mine, I needed to twist it up some, or out, or whatever the case is. But yeah, I'm gonna go in and cut these in half. I know what I have now. I'm gonna pull the starter back off. I'll run the wires back to it. There's another one around here. Yeah, the power. I'll run the wires back to it. Like I said, I know exactly what shims I need, so exactly what comes off, I'm gonna put back on. And all right, I got everything wired up. I've got the starter bolted down. I haven't torqued it or nothing. I've got the shims in place. I've got the power back to the battery. I've went ahead and topped off the transmission fluid since I've obviously dumped that out. But let's check it out, see what it does. Hell yeah, I'm gonna call that a success. I ended up adding just another small thin shim on that same side towards the passenger side, just because I didn't, there was a little too much play. The more I played with it and kind of just shimmied that 1/8 inch Allen wrench in there, yeah, I didn't really like it. I went ahead and added that extra little thin shim. I can't remember what it was. It was probably 30 seconds or something. I can't. Anyways, there's no grinding. There's no, so nothing sounds like it's cracking or grinding against itself or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and torque down the starter to factory specs, and then take this thing off jack stands and take it around the block, see what it does. I don't know why I'm not getting any oil pressure on the gauge inside. It might be that vacuum line that's back on the back, or I don't know. I gotta look into it. I don't know why. It's never been really accurate either, but I need to figure it out and see, make sure we're good on there. I didn't check the oil before I started this thing, but I didn't do anything with it, so it should be fine. But I'm gonna go ahead and double check it and see where I missed something, or some wire or something. I don't know if I don't know why there would be anything for the oil pressure on the transmission side, which is the only thing I mess with, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's always something, or it's always one thing or another. But as far as this goes, that's a wrap. All right, I know what little bonus content. Set this thing up here. I know what I did wrong. I'm small enough to where I can crawl in this fucking thing. I know what I did wrong. When I was messing with the wire that goes to the your carburetor, this is hooked up to your this wire here is hooked up to your transmission, but the pressure sending unit for this thing is a silver sensor back there in the back, that one down there. And I pulled the wire off of it on accident, so I'm just gonna put it back in and should get back to reading on that pressure gauge, but just wanted to give you guys a little update on that.